Speculation around Manchester United and whether they will look to recruit a new goalkeeper this summer. Andre Onana, remember, missed their Premier League opener against Arsenal last weekend. Today, Ruben Amorim was giving nothing away about who will pick to face Fulham on Sunday.
Onana is ready to play like last week, so we'll see in the game who is going to be the goalkeeper. Lich is out, Nuz is out, the rest of the guys are fit and ready to play.
Right, since Ruben Amorim held that news conference, Michael, there has been news of a potential goalkeeper incoming at Manchester United.
That's right, Darmesh. Yeah, United making progress in talks with Royal Antwerp to sign goalkeeper Senne. Lammens. Now, sources in Belgium have told us that a 17.3 million transfer is close to being agreed, with the structure currently under discussion. So United making progress with the Royal Antwerp goalkeeper, Senne Lammens.
Yeah, and if he was to come in, it wouldn't necessarily be as a number one goalkeeper, but they're looking long-term, are Manchester United, with regard to that possible signing. So possibly a keeper coming in at United. But of course, as we have been telling you, since they've made those three signings up front, the focus has been on departures at Manchester United. Marcus Rashford, of course, already gone to Barcelona. They're looking at suitable offers for the likes of Jadon Sancho, Alejandro Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, Antony and Tyrell Malacia. And Ruben Amorim was asked about potential departures this afternoon, and this was his response.
It's not an idea that these guys are going to leave to play in the different club, and then we are going to receive another player. That we don't know what is going to happen, but we are not waiting to get to take out someone to bring another player. One thing is not responsible for the other. It's not a good thing to have players in this situation, but it is clearly that they want to play in the different club, and that is clear. So we try to arrange everything for both parts to be happy. So I have to try to imagine to have the training with the guys that I think are going to be the future, and then the other guys are training and preparing for the next chapter. When the window is closed, it is a different history. When the window is closed, we have to receive the players, and then new life, and anything can happen.
Yeah, Carve, let's have a look at some of these players that Manchester United want to listen to offers for. One of the big ones, and probably the one that will get them the most amount of money, is Alejandro Garnacho. We just saw Chris Reedy describing what Chelsea's front line is going to look like tonight. He'll find it quite difficult getting in that team if he was to go, wouldn't he?
No, well, Chelsea need another player who can play wide left. Because Mudrik's unavailable at the moment. Jadon Sancho has gone. They've brought in Jamie Gittins, but they need another player there. And their number one target is Garnacho. But look, Chelsea know that Garnacho effectively has no future at United. It's very difficult to see him ever playing for United again. And Chelsea's position is, why would we pay over the odds for a player who's got no future at United and for a player who wants to move to Stamford Bridge? I'm pretty sure he's going to end up being a Chelsea player before the window closes, but it's got to be at a price point that is acceptable to both sides. One side wants 50, the other one wants to play around 30. I think a compromise is going to have to be reached, and maybe it will be reached once Chelsea have sold some more players.
Yeah, so Alejandro Garnacho looks like he will end up at Chelsea, as you said there, Carve. Not so clear-cut is the future of Rasmus Højlund. Remember, AC Milan were really trying hard to sign Rasmus Højlund. They proposed a loan with an option. Manchester United prefer a permanent deal. Rasmus Højlund prefers a permanent deal. Napoli now are thought to be trying to formulate a deal whereby they do a loan with an obligation to buy. Antonio Conte is really keen on signing Rasmus Højlund, and it's understood that Højlund and United could be up for this deal because Napoli can obviously offer Champions League football. So definitely one to watch there. Garnacho potentially to Chelsea. Højlund, you never know, potentially to Napoli. Jadon Sancho, Michael, another player who could be on his way out, but where?
If Højlund's watching, just look at what Antonio Conte's done to Scott McTominay. So, all right. Anyway, right, on Jadon Sancho. Look, he's confident, we understand, of securing a move away from Manchester United before the window closes. Now, Roma are now looking at alternatives to Sancho because Roma had this bid worth £20 million and held talks with the player. But Sancho wanted to explore other options. Bit of a surprise, in my opinion. But Besiktas showed an interest, but they're not in active discussions, we understand. We know Borussia Dortmund and a number of clubs have been kept updated on the situation. So big clubs still want him, that's for sure. So it looks to be that they will, by the end of the deadline, get that solution. Yeah,
I know Manchester United fans are probably getting bored about all the players that potentially could leave the club. I still think they want to spot a market opportunity if it's possible to bring in more players. We've talked about the goalkeeper, but they're still exploring the market for a midfielder in this transfer window. Stuttgart's Angelo Stiller is a player they like and that they have looked at in this window. However, it's gone no further than initial interest at this stage. No club-to-club contract. He's a German international, still got 3 years left on his contract. You'll remember that earlier on in the window, Carlos Baleba was a big target for Manchester United, but Brighton made it clear not for sale. But as I mentioned before, as much as the focus is on departures at Old Trafford, they do want to be in a position that if a market opportunity was to present itself, they are in a position to be able to act on that market opportunity. Right.
Available back. Is Onana ready to start?
Onana is ready to play like last week, so we'll see in the game who is going to be the goalkeeper. Lich is out, Nuz is out, the rest of the guys are fit and ready to play.
Obviously Sunday's an important match, but there seems to be a lot going on with the deadline getting closer. There seems to be a lot to sort out in terms of outgoings. Is there any movement on that side? Any hopeful of bringing anyone in?
No, you have to talk with Jason. We have a department that is responsible for that part. I'm just focused on the performance on Sunday and try to win the game.
How often do they update you?
We talk every day, so it's not a meeting, a formal meeting every day, but we are talking about all the situations, and we are trying to see every situation.
We know the players that may leave, or at least we think we do. But does that mean that you think that there may be more people coming in?
No, it's not an idea that these guys are going to leave to play in the different club, and then we are going to receive another player. That we don't know what is going to happen, but we are not waiting to get to take out someone to bring another player. One thing is not responsible for the other.
Does that not make it a bit difficult to plan, though? You might do, but you might not.
Because I think the players that you are talking about is the players that are not with the group in this moment. So we have a group training, so it's not going to affect a lot.
Yeah. Ruben, just on one of those players in terms of Rasmus, I just wanted to ask how the conversations have been with him in terms of his involvement, whether he was on the bench a few weeks ago and then not involved last week. Just how has he taken the news, and how has your interactions with him been?
Like a professional player, so we need to see. Let's wait until the market is closed, and then everything is going to be more clear.
Can I just ask you about two players who were involved last week, and in terms of Luke Shaw and Mason Mount, two players were injured quite a lot last season. How good has it been to have a full pre-season behind them, and especially in a World Cup year for their own ambitions, them being back fit and available?
More important is for them to help Manchester United to reach our goals, and then they are really very, very good players. They are experienced, they play a lot of matches. Mason Mount won the Champions League. Luke Shaw, I think I already said that when he's fit is really a special player, and you can see it every time he played. So it's really important for us have these two guys available for more games.
Ruben, what are your thoughts on Fulham? Obviously, they're a squad that have had a player turnover this summer as well. What are your thoughts going into this game?
I think Fulham is always hard to play against Fulham. They have a clear identity. Marco Silva is really experienced, is really smart. He can change several things, cover several spaces, and you can see game by game he tried to do that. They are really comfortable because they have the experience. They understand the league is long, so they will feel confident and relaxed for the game. So it's going to be a tough match. But if you look at the schedule, I look at the schedule, and every game is really hard to play. So it's going to be a tough match.
And in terms of what you saw last week from your own team, did that give you confidence? Areas that you want to focus on as well, perhaps? Going forward, what do you see?
Both things. I think we did well, we play well, but there is a lot of things that we need to improve. We need to understand that every game has its history. The space is not going to be the same. The opponent is not going to be the same. Even the responsibility on the game could be a little bit different, and that has a lot of influence in the game. So we need just to be consistent in our performance. And consistency is not just playing in the same way, it's like to maintain the level and not drop too much. And I feel that pre-season is pre-season, but even in pre-season and